Hey everybody, it's Kim, and we're back for another episode of Empower. Um, Today, uh, we're going to talk about something that I think we need to talk more about, just as people, just as women. And that topic today is going to be contentment versus complacency. Um, and the reason I think it's important is because oftentimes we kind of trick ourselves into thinking that we're content when we really become complacent. So, you know how I do. First, let's talk about definitions. So, to be content is a state of peaceful happiness, a state of satisfaction, a state of everything's everything's good right now. Versus complacency, um, which you reach a place where you're unwilling, not unable, unwilling to do the necessary work to improve. You've kind of decided that, no, I'm good here. I've reached a plateau. I'm gonna stay here. So let's talk about contentment. It's important that we find contentment, and the reason that that's important is because we can become complainers. We can become people who are pessimistic and can always find and highlight and dwell in whatever challenge or negativity that presents itself. And so being content, there's a place for that. Those of you who know about what Paul said in the Bible about he in whatever place he's in, he can be content. And what that means is Paul, he had done some work on himself so that whether he was in the best of circumstances or the worst of circumstances, he was okay. So many times we allow the circumstances to dictate how we feel, how we go through something, how we move through a situation, how we present ourselves to the world. We allow our circumstance to dictate, okay, I'm not okay, so everybody got to know I'm not okay. And that doesn't mean that you need to be fake. That doesn't mean that if you're having a rough day that you need to pretend that you're not. That's a rough day is one thing. But a state of contentment just means, okay, I'm doing necessary work on myself. I am applying all that I know. I am making strides to being who I have agreed with God that I'm here to be. I'm doing things that are fulfilling and purposeful. Contentment is about my inner self. Not to say that you are perfect, because none of us are. But it's to say that the things that I do not like about myself, I know that it's going to take some work. For instance, this is something that I struggled with. Still gonna do a little bit. And that is dressing my body for the size that I am right now. I, for those who don't know, had weight loss surgery some years ago and have lost roughly 90 pounds. So, but I'm not where I want to be. So it's almost like, it ain't almost like, we gonna be real, right? I kind of have settled into this place of I don't want to buy any clothes that I really, really like at this size because I still have 20-ish pounds that I want to lose to get to where I would be content. So my complacency has been that because I'm not there yet, I don't want to put the necessary effort in, but we just gonna be honest, to to dress how I want to dress, to wear what I prefer to wear. So it's been a more settling for, oh well, this will work. Now, I don't buy junk, and it's not ugly, but it's not 100% me. If my sister watches this episode, she'll probably be jumping up and down like, yes, I said that. Because she's been telling me that for a while. What happened to you? Because before, I did my little thing. As my dad would say, comes honest. I get it from him, he would say. No, but y'all who know my dad know he dresses. So it's something that I have become complacent in. And right now, I'm actively working on, hey, chick, let's get it together. Like, no, you're not where you want to be yet, but you're going to get there. But in the meantime, you're going to dim yourself, be grayscale, be less than, simply because you're not where you want to be. And of course, I've heard it said over and over again, dress for where you are right now. Live where you are right now, but do it full-fledged, do it wholeheartedly, do it 100%. I haven't been doing that in that area. And so, that is me being transparent and honest and saying that in this area I have become complacent. I just haven't applied myself to it. And it's not like I can't do it. It's not like all of a sudden I forgot what looks nice or how to put things together. It's not like I've forgotten. I just stopped because I'm not where I want to be. I'm way better than I was as far as weight size. But when I was bigger, I was dressing because I had decided that that's the size I was going to be. So it's amazing how your mind can become content with certain things. How is it, now that I'm even saying these things, how is it, y'all excuse this epiphany that I'm having right now, how is it that 90 pounds heavier, I'm comfortable and content and will buy whatever I want to wear and think I look good? And I'm not saying that I was no slob or nothing and I wasn't putting it together, because your girl was putting it together, okay? No cockiness at all, just gonna state some facts. But I was content. Now, upon weighing myself this morning, 94 pounds lighter, I'm complacent. Your mind, the things that this mind can have us doing is crazy. So, full transparent moment. I said to myself and to my husband the other day, listen, this got to stop. And he was like, well, go ahead on it. What you waiting for? So it's not like it just was me in my head, like, nah, I'm not going to invest in until I get to exactly where I want to be. That's no way to live. Complacency is really stagnation. And anything that's stagnant begins to stink. It begins to grow mold. And y'all ever been by stagnant water? Ooh. It changed colors. It stinks. Bugs are attracted. There's nothing appealing or pleasant about complacency. So we have to be careful that our contentment doesn't slide into complacency and we try to pretend or deny that that's where we've ended up. Sometimes that's what we do. We're like, oh no, I'm good. And see, this is the danger. We're not where we used to be, right? So we get excited about that. Don't not get excited. Be excited that you've progressed and that you've gotten some momentum and you've made some changes and you're improving. Yes, celebrate it. But don't stop. And that's the thing that we do. We plateau. We're like, Charlie saying what? Because there was a time when this, and that would happen. There was a time when I used to would, and those things are true. They're true. Celebrate the fact that you're not where you were. But we can't stay there. We have to continue to move forward. Because the danger of complacency is not only do we stop, everyone else keeps going, or things keep forward, momentum, time keeps moving, things keep going. We look up and we're like, it's our 40-year high school reunion. What have I been doing with my life? We look, and then everything, the time has passed, and then we start feeling down about that, but we've regressed. If we're not constantly moving forward, we are actually not sitting still. We're regressing, because the longer we sit in that place, the more comfortable we become with that complacency. I'm comfortable. And if I'm not constantly improving, what am I doing? I'm picking up old habits. I'm engaging in behavior that isn't beneficial to me or anyone else. I'm starting to do things that I will regret, that I'll resent, that I will then have to work twice as hard to undo. Because this is the thing. Every bad habit that we've stopped, every bad behavior, every terrible relationship, all of those things that we have progressed past, we haven't forgotten how to do. We still know how to act a donkey if the situation presents itself. We still know that if we wanted to talk to so and so and so and so, we know how to get in touch with them. Bad behavior isn't forgotten. We haven't forgotten how to be that person, to not allow ourselves to be confident, to not speak up for ourselves, to not show up fully present in the world. We haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten what it felt like to have low self-esteem. It's not like we don't know how to trigger that part of our mind and go back to that negative soundtrack that plays that sounds just like us because it's us. We haven't forgotten that stuff. So the problem with complacency is when we get there, it's too easy to go back. We find ourselves back there before we know it. We are back there. And then we look up, something happened, and we hear something, or somebody says something, or we see a picture of ourselves, or we hear ourselves say something, and we're like, now how did I get here? How did I get back here? And then comes the condemning of ourselves and the beating ourselves up and the look at you, you can't even keep da-da-da-da-da. And then we get into this cycle. There's danger in complacency. And so I want to challenge all of us to not become complacent. This is why often I say in these videos, do one thing to keep yourself moving, to progress. Read one paragraph of a book that you find inspiring. Read a post from somebody on Instagram, a meme. Have that one person that you know that can speak to you and challenge you in a way. Read your Bible. What I've been doing lately is the book of Proverbs, which I already know, but that book is a challenge to the core of who we are. If we read the way it's written out and how it talks about integrity and justice and wisdom and knowledge, we all can come up. But it's encouraging to read it, because then you see about the benefit, then you see what happens when you apply wisdom, when you apply knowledge, understanding. So if you don't have that person, even if you do, forget that. Even if you have that person and you have a book and you have these things that you can reference your Bible. Because what's amazing about the Bible is it's speaking directly to you through people that the person who made you is speaking to you. Why wouldn't you listen to him? So do what it takes to take that one step forward. We cannot be in complacency. And this is one of the things that is an issue that we're facing now in the world, with C.T. Vivian dying, and John Lewis, and People, the people who were the changers and the who, you know, were so dedicated to the work that needs to be done, they're leaving here. And what we can't do as this generation and the generation behind us, even in front of us, we can't become like, well, this is the way it is. It is what it is. Now that statement is dangerous depending on how it's applied. Because yes, it is what it is. But one of the things that I have been saying for years is, it is what it is until it isn't. What that means is, yeah, it's that way right now, but it doesn't have to be. I don't have to accept mediocrity or the status quo. And it doesn't have to stay what it is. Matter of fact, I can't allow whatever this thing is that isn't serving me well, that isn't moving me forward, propelling me further into my purpose and my position in life. Hey, I got to do something about it. This just goes back to our topic, I think it was May, about discipline. People talk about motivation, and yeah, motivation has its place, but that discipline, that one thing that's going to make you, that you have to hone, because I've been getting up every morning, being out, working out every morning at 6. I have been changing my diet, and this isn't just so I can get these pounds off. This is something that I'm committing to doing while I'm still breathing. Like, these are manageable changes that I can maintain. So whatever you do, whatever area where you find yourself complacent, whatever areas, because usually we got several. So whatever areas you find yourself being complacent or getting too content, getting too comfortable, we got to shake that up. We got to shock the system. We got to do something different. So whatever area it is, I'm challenging all of us. Take some inventory, honest inventory. See where it is that we've become complacent, and then do something to shock our systems. Do something to make it different. And if you have a setback, don't stay in the setback. We're going to have those. There'll be some days where, listen, I drank a Coke and I ate a cupcake. We might have those days, but we can't allow them to become weeks and months and years. That's the danger of complacency. So, challenge on. Whatever you're complacent in, whatever area, do one thing. Focus on it. Chisel it out. It's not gonna happen overnight. These things take time, because it took time. Complacency takes time. But our goal is content, so that we have worked on ourselves enough to the place where, okay, I'm good with me. Yeah, that situation is terrible. I don't like this. I wish the world would open back up. I wish people wear a mask so this could be over. But in spite of all that, I'm okay. I'm content. It's not circumstance-based. It's not situational. It's not personal relationships, interactional. It's none of that. I'm content. Let's get there. We can do it. One day at a time, one thing at a time. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.